Alright, we back. Listen, this time, just doing more so an overview of UFC 325. Just trying to get the thoughts out there. Main thing right now, we're going to start with BSD, because, that's who I got on the screen. But yeah, with BSD, not going to lie, he been on a resurgent tear. We all saw him take that loss to Moicano, where he just got, dominated. Kind of put some doubt in a lot of the fans' minds, right? But he bounced back. He came through, had that great win over Rufy, right? Dominated, showed that he had the power to strike out here, which we all knew. Then he dominated on the ground. Took his time, went through, made his reads, made his progressions. And it led to more so of a overall development of his skills, showing that him changing teams and working with more of the French squad would lead to his success. And I'm not going to lie, after the Dariush fight where he just smoked him in under, 30 seconds, you realize he's dangerous. And with him being so dangerous, it really does enlighten the whole division to the fact that he's the real deal. He's here to stay. And I really do think he should get it done against Dan Hooker, but, you never know. Dan Hooker been on some other shit for the past, year and a half now. 3-fight win streak. Lost the 3-fight win streak to Arman, but, it is what it is. And then more so with this, Diego Lopez, don't even know how he got the title shot. I mean, I very much appreciate that Diego Lopez is a top guy in the division, but in my opinion, I think Lerone should have got it. Not on some hating shit, but more so Lerone had an electric knockout all over the world, showed the spinning elbow, good timing, been fiending, been on a hot streak, showed that he was a top guy in the division, and then Volk beats Lopez, and he gets one fight and just comes right back to be Volk's first defense after regaining his title. It's like we just saw him beat him. And also, out of respect for Volk, in my opinion, why is he getting the guy that dropped him in the fight after he still wins a unanimous decision? You don't want to let Volk get some new blood in, because we all know Volk only has 3 fights left maybe. He's up there in age, if he even has 3 fights. What if he loses and he says, you know what, I don't want to do another training camp, and you wasted one of his defenses on somebody he beat already? And I like Lopez. He's exciting, can beat you on the ground, very much willing to take a shot, to give a shot, will go through the fire to go get what he wants, which is hurting you bad, just like that. You come in, try to throw a strike, he'll hit you with something hard, all significant strikes, something round, uppercuts, hooks, occasional straights. We saw him hit Brian Ortega with a 1-2 that knocked him out and woke him up in the same combo. Lopez is exciting. I'm just saying, I really think the title shot should have went to somebody else just to give Volk a fresh matchup. But since it is Lopez, in my opinion, I really do think he could get it done, even though Volk moves around really well. I do think the pivoting and the movement of Volk gave him a lot of problems. He needs to work on his footwork. Did not go that well. I mean, does anybody in this camp really walk that well? I think they all kind of have more plodding footwork than bouncing on their toe. They're not karate stance McGregor. I'm not saying he needs to come out here and just be some footwork demon like Prime Izzy or Wonder Boy, but you need to be able to cut off the ring a little bit better. If he does mitigate that deficiency in his game, I really do think he could find a way to beat Volk. But, I think this is a 50-50 matchup, more so because I think Volk's more talented. I think he's more technical, but Father Time is undefeated. And if you keep giving somebody chances to beat somebody, they'll eventually beat them if the skill set is at least comparable. You know what I mean? So, shout out Diego Lopez. He doing his thing. Young guy on the rise. And let's see what happens.
Ready.
Now, with Rufy, not gonna lie to you, real good fighter, real talented guy. Of the fighting nerds, him, Silva, Prates are probably the people that get a lot of the fandom. Kaio started off, but I feel like those 3 really get the fandom based off their fighting styles. And Rufy's cool. Rufy's cool. Got the anime community, got the One Piece people behind him, got a lot of fans that just like interesting, bouncing in and out, fun techniques where they just strike freely. He's very much a free striker. But after showing that deficiency to Benoit Saint Denis, he's so young to where even if he loses to Dan Hooker right now, I mean, I don't count him out that he can't. Charles Oliveira took all them losses and growing pains in his career, so anybody can bounce back. But if he loses to Dan Hooker here, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if he loses to Dan Hooker here, that kind of stunts his belief as a title challenger right now. He might need to just take a step back and reset and just assess what his skill set is, where he is right now, what does he need to... You might just need to be in the gym and work on a few things before you come back to another fight. Kind of like Ian Gary. Remember, he lost, came back, you found out he could actually wrestle really well, anti-wrestle really well, and he could get on your back and possibly submit you. So, sometimes you do just need to get in that gym and take a look at what you can do better. Sometimes you leave like Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler left the UFC, came back, went on a title run after. He just found a different spark in his training, in his game. You know what I mean? So if he loses to Dan Hooker here, really got to take a step back, assess what's going on. Is he just a fun striker? You know what I mean? Or is he more? And right now, I think he is more than that. I do think he should get through Dan Hooker here. I said Dan Hooker. You know what I mean? If he loses to Benoit Saint, no. My fault, guys. My fault. If he loses to Fiziev, I'm not cutting any of that out either. I don't care. But Fiziev, sometimes you have brain farts. If he loses to Fiziev, we got to take a look back because they're both going to be out here striking, taking their time, and just trying to find their windows. Fiziev likes to be brute force, go up at you, take your time, and like uses Muay Thai combos, body hooks into kicks. And you know what I'm saying? Straights, hooks, uppercuts into kicks, weaves by doing the matrix lean back. If Rufy can pick his shots and take his time to not gas out, because I think since we have two guys right here that like to throw a lot of hard strikes and pick their shots, you're gonna run into something exciting happening in this fight.
Ready to fight? Ready. Good.
Now, Volk is a different story. If Volk does come out here, gives you one really good performance, because we've seen him in rematches, especially with Holloway. Second one, Holloway did a good game plan, but Volk like turned it on in the later rounds and found a way to win. But then the third fight, he just shut him out. If Volk has a Holloway 3 moment where he just shuts out Diego Lopez, you know what I mean? He just is on all cylinders, just firing, and he makes it look easy. We got to start having talks, man. We got to really start having talks about this man and where he stands in the forefront of MMA history. Because we're past featherweight statuses, you know what I mean? If he does something crazy like that, we got to start talking GOAT statuses for Volk. He might not get it, but we got to put him in those conversations. Like, if he just turns up and does stuff like this and it's over, like, you know, it is what it is. He had enough, so we're going to the next fight.
You ready to fight? You ready?
Yeah, shout out Dan Hooker. He ruined me talking about Rufy, because for some reason I thought Rufy was fighting him for half a second, and my brain got confused. Anyway, Dan Hooker BSD. Dan Hooker loves to scrap. He doesn't care about getting hurt. He's the king of I'll take a shot to give a shot. And last but not least, he kind of just a pain demon. I mean, he broke his arm, wins a split decision against Jalen Turner. He goes, finds a way to get all the takedowns denied in the world, showed that he's, for one night, was the greatest anti-wrestler against Mateus Gamrot. And then, after realizing that, he's now on a 3-fight win streak, and he was in the top 5 of the division. And it's like, Dan Hooker doesn't suck, but like, he's not gonna one-punch knock you out. And we haven't really seen him knock anybody out. It's like all decision work. So he either gets finished or wins a decision. And it'll be one of the more exciting fights you'll see, because he always puts his body on the line. That's why I wanted to see him versus Gaethje so bad. And honestly, if he wins this fight, give him Gaethje. Don't give him Patty. Patty will find a way to sub him. But give him Gaethje. Forget the Ilya title fight. But yeah, I care about the fights for the fans. But yeah, Dan Hooker, great, just brawler, has fun, fights for the fans, takes his skill sets of good kickboxing. He knows how to use his range. He knows how to use that calf kick. He knows how to get to his elbows and his knees very well. And he has a really good guillotine. That's why they call him the Hangman. If you put that neck down and he gets like over top of you and can get a front headlock, he's going to get you in a real good guillotine. He might finish the fight. And I say all that to say, if he finds a way to win at the UFC 325, fuck everything I just said. We're Dan Hooker FC for the rest of the year. We're rooting for Dan Hooker to go on a title run on some Bisbing stuff. You know what I mean? Like a Bisbing level run where you just go through, win a fight you have no business winning, and then now for the rest of your career you somehow have UFC champion next to your name. You know what I mean? We here for the fun storylines. I don't care about the dominance. We don't care about the going through what should happen. Sometimes you just gotta have fun. Sometimes you gotta see something that you didn't expect to happen. And that's really like the best part about this sport, because since it's a fight, someone could get clipped by something, someone could run into a knee, someone could run into an elbow, you could slip, find yourself in a bad position and get guillotined or darced. Like, you never know. Fights are very interesting. They're much more interesting than like basketball games, football games, where there's so many possessions. You only need to find one opening. That's all you need. And if Dan does it, nothing but props to Dan. You know what I mean? And with that, we get this Ilya out of my Octagon, and let's go to the next fight.
You ready? You ready? Let's do it.
Okay, back to Fiziev. Now, Fiziev's ways to victory, we already know what it is. Put that pressure on Roofy. Find a way to get to them body kicks. Throw some real good, like, switch kicks that sound like a baseball bat smacking on a ham in a fucking meat cellar, and call it a day. But if he can do that, get to the legs, walk on his leg kicks, get to some uppercuts and body hooks, a few spin kicks, you know what I mean? Like, just make it exciting. Those fast, twitchy kicks to the body. He's going to find a way to, you know what I mean? He's going to find a way to win this fight. I think he's due for a win, though, because I don't think he sucks. You know what I mean? What he's dropped, his last 3? He's on a 3-fight losing streak. Gaethje twice and somebody else. I'm blanking on who the other one, but yeah, I mean, actually, no. He's lost 3 out of his last 4, because it was Gaethje, Gamrot, Gaethje, and then he beat Bahamundez by decision. So technically, we're back on pace for his winning ways, but it's like, man, I think he's better than, you know what I mean, 3 out of his last 4. So maybe he's due for his victory against Roofy. Maybe he finds a way. But I think this is one of the better fights. Just 2 kickboxers, 1 Muay Thai, 1 more of a free-flowing striker. And I think there's just a way in which he wins this fight as well. It's going to be an exciting fight. Turn your apps on for that. Shout out Paramount.
You ready to fight? Ready. Good.
And back to the man, the myth, the legend, Volkanovski. I mean, it's his card. You know what I mean? He's out here. He's doing his thing. He wins it. Cool. I mean, I'm very happy for him. He's already kind of solidified himself as the best featherweight. He's done it all. He's beat the other 2. He's beat Aldo. He's beat Max 3 times. It's like, all right. He's done it all. He shows he's that great. Shout out to Volk. Now, he beats Diego Lopez a 2nd time. I don't think there's anything you could do. Just give him a new opponent. Let him do his thing. And if he wants to retire with the belt, let him just retire. Get him out of there. And let him have his fun, man. I feel like he earned it. I feel like he's done enough to have some terms of agreement for whatever he wants to do. And that's really just how I feel about this card. I feel like it's going to be a good card. Really good fights on here. Somehow, Tuivasa is back on a card fighting for money on like a 6-fight losing streak. But hey, it is what it is. So, shout out UFC 325. Everybody enjoy it. And yeah, like, subscribe, share the video, comment down people you want to see in the future. And with that, I'm out. So, keep on watching. Have a good time. See you in the next one.